On today's SoFlo Home Project, we tackle the heart of the home inside an income property to get maximum return on your investment.
Tenants right now are looking for properties that are move-in ready. And when I say move-in ready, they want to make sure that the kitchen is updated, that the property looks clean, and it doesn't have that used feel, especially if they're renting. They want to feel like they're moving into something that's fresh.
Watch as we take a sledgehammer to a dated kitchen and transform it into a modern space that will appeal to tenants and also increase the value of this rental property. South Florida is color, texture, lifestyle. It's a vibrant collage of different cultures blended in different ways. This collage is where I work. I'm home decor expert Martin Amado. Let me help you design your lifestyle. Join me as we experience SoFlo Home Project. Rental real estate is a great way to build future cash flow. Yes, it's a significant commitment to maintain it, but the benefits when it comes to tax breaks and even appreciation can outweigh all those responsibilities. The best way to offset the expenses and increase the profit every month is with the rent. Location and home upgrades are a determining factor, and just like with any home, kitchens play a big role. Today, it's a complete kitchen overhaul as we share tips from the experts on everything from remodeling to real estate. Joining me is Robert, a real estate expert with EWM Realty International. He is very familiar with property values here in Sunrise when it comes to also sales and rentals, correct?
Correct.
So what's going on with this property?
Well, this property is a hot mess. The investor bought the property a couple months ago and is deciding whether they should upgrade the property or not. So I think they should.
I think they should as well. So specifically, how much does rent go for in this area?
Well, for non-upgraded properties, rent is going for about $1,600, $1,650.
Okay.
For properties that are upgraded, they're going for about $1,800, $1,850 a month.
And what do tenants, in your opinion, look for when they're looking to possibly rent a townhome like this one?
They're looking for clean and new. So they want to walk in and feel like they can move right in. They want neutral colors, neutral kitchens, something that's upgraded and has that new feel, not something that looks used.
So would you live here? With this kitchen?
Not right now. Maybe after it's upgraded.
Well, I'll tell you what, let me work on this with the crew,
Okay.
hand over that hot mess to me, and then when it's all said and done, we'll go ahead and invite you back, and then hopefully get your feedback.
Awesome.
And see how much we can charge for this property.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Take it easy. And this particular space, the kitchen is centered to the house. It's open to the family room, the breakfast nook area. So you see it really from all spaces on the first floor. So it really has an impact. And I think when tenants walk into the property, they're gonna wanna see that as upgraded, as clean, as fresh and new, so they feel comfortable in the space.
There is nothing in this kitchen that I can work with, so everything is coming down. I am keeping the basic layout, but changing a few things to make it more functional and open. Surprises, surprises. Helping me with this remodel is contractor Efrain. He and his crew had the daunting task of removing all the dated and damaged cabinets, sink, and appliances.
Okay, right now we remove the cabinets and then we can take everything out.
This is not the fun part of the makeover, but hey, it's a good stress release, right?
We're gonna cut the wall to put the new granite. This is very important. Have the height for the new countertop.
We basically gutted the kitchen and threw away those old cabinets. Now we have a blank slate, which means next, we install. I'll tell you why I chose this particular style and why it's important. When we come back on SoFlo Home Project, the new cabinets go up and the kitchen starts taking shape. Welcome back to SoFlo Home Project. The crew has demolished the kitchen and the new cabinets are ready to go up. But first, last week Tat from FHIA started a kitchen update of his own. Let's see how his project is coming along.
So when we were here last time, we had just finished up prepping the entire kitchen. We were installing filler to the cabinets so that we could have a smooth surface to do the laminate. We removed all the cabinet doors, removed the drawer boxes, prepping the area for all the new materials that come in. And today we're going to find out how things are going and see the finished product. So last time we were here, we were just completing prepping the kitchen for the new cabinet doors and the laminate to be installed. And they were going to be starting today installing the new doors with the new hinges, the new doors to have the new soft close doors that the homeowners wanted. We were removing the old drawer boxes so that we can install all new heavy-duty drawers with new glides with the soft close drawers. And we were also prepping the area for the new countertops to come in. They had laminate countertops that they wanted to have removed and to have installed new quartz countertops, which have been installed today and absolutely turned out magnificent. So one of the things that the homeowners didn't like about the last doors were that they weren't a real heavy-duty door. They seemed really light and flimsy, so they wanted to go with a much stronger wood door, and it was a lot heavier than the door that they had originally installed. So in upgrading the door, we also had to upgrade the hardware system and the hinge system so that it was able to support the weight of the new door a lot better and also provide the soft close that they wanted as well. So what's cool about this door from Decorative Specialties is the fact that it is a laminated door, but it has a great texture to it to give the feel of a wood grain finish. So the original kitchen had a laminated countertop with a drop-in sink. When we decided to change the countertops to the quartz countertop, we also wanted to go with an undermount sink, which provided them a deeper sink and also give them the nice clean surface that they wanted on their countertop. Well, I know I'm really happy how everything turned out here. We were able to accomplish our goal of getting this beautiful kitchen done within the 2 days as promised, and I'm really anxious to see the family move in and see how much they're going to enjoy this space.
Thanks, Tack. Great information. So today we took over the task of adding value to a rental property by completely updating the kitchen. It needed it badly, trust me. The crew took everything down that was completely dated, and now we begin to see the actual transformation with the install of the new cabinets.
The demolition is done. Now we're going to start with the cabinet installation. You see this cabinet is more higher than the other one. It's because it's set in the tile. So now we're going to have to remove the cabinet and cut the tile to level with this one.
Efraim had a couple of hiccups, but manages to work it all out. This is why measuring is crucial to make sure that the cabinets are level, avoiding a big problem when installing the countertop.
This part of the cabinet is done. Now we're going to do the kitchen sink cabinet. And after that, it's going to be the granite.
Once all the lower cabinets were installed, it was time to bring in the new countertops. I chose a neutral stone that complements the existing flooring and the white cabinets. With the original two-level countertop gone, the kitchen now feels more spacious and modern. This is where the biggest slab of granite goes, with the sink opening pre-cut at the factory. The joint for the two slabs will be concealed with a special epoxy and different dyes mixed on site to match the existing colors found in the stone. Once the blend of colors is perfect, it is placed in between the joint, the two slabs are pushed together, and the excess is wiped off. The seam on the edge is polished and the countertop is now ready for the new stainless steel sink. We complete the install by drilling the holes on site for the new kitchen faucet and repeat the same procedure for the soap dispenser. Coming up on SoFlo Home Project, with the bulk of the kitchen remodel done, we now begin the finishing details such as the backsplash. Welcome back to SoFlo Home Project. Today has been about updating a kitchen and also investing in an income property. This kitchen before was a complete gut job, so we started from scratch. Now we have new cabinets in, we have a new countertop and new appliances. The next step is the finishing details such as backsplash. Of course, for this project, I can't do the job by myself, so I'm counting on our team here at SoFlo Home Project, Mr. Frank Melendez, our Mr. Get It Done, to assist us with this. And actually, I'm gonna give you complete control. How about that?
Perfect, perfect.
So listen, Frank, I know when it comes to choosing backsplashes, there are so many options out there. I ended up choosing this one because it really picks up on the colors of the countertop, and it also keeps it very clean and contemporary. Would you say that installing backsplash is a really good do-it-yourself project for viewers and homeowners?
It's definitely the most easiest tile job to do.
Right, because really it's basically like two steps, right? You need the
mastic.
Right, which is basically like a towel adhesive for the back.
Correct. And then the grouting afterwards. You usually give it a couple hours to dry with the mastic, and then you go ahead and grout it.
Awesome. And this is really a one-day project, right?
Correct.
It's not going to take too many days for that matter. So talk to me about the grout, because I know when it comes to grout also there are two choices. There's non-sanded and also sanded. How do you know when to use which one?
Okay, sanded is for smaller grout joints within a 1/8 grout joint.
Okay.
So it would be smaller where it doesn't have sand in it, so it can compact in there nice and easy. Which when you have a bigger grout joint in your tile, you're going to use the sanded, so it kind of gets more fill in there with the sand, fills it all out nice and smooth.
So that makes complete sense. So the sand almost acts like a bonding agent to really fill up more of a wider space.
Correct.
But in this case, it's less than 1/8, so we're using the
Unsanded.
the non-sanded
Yeah.
grout. Okay, I'll be your assistant today.
Got it.
Usually Frank is my design assistant throughout the entire makeovers that we shoot
Right.
here, but this time I'll be your assistant. How about that?
That's perfect.
All right, Frank, so what's the first step?
We're going to measure our tile, put the measurement on the wall, up and down,
Okay.
on one corner and the other corner, make a line, and that will give us our spread mark, and then we can start sticking tile on the wall.
Okay. Now, in terms of the actual application of the tile, start from the bottom up. So you want the full tile to always be visible at the bottom rather, and then any cuts at the top are really hidden underneath the cabin so you can't really tell. So the small spaces at the bottom, what's the primary purpose for that?
To give you a bead of grout on the bottom of your tile.
Okay, so it's all uniform and they all sit correctly with the spacing.
Right.
Got it. And then the tip with the float is?
When you're done, because every tile here is very small,
Right.
so it gets a good bond to it, you want to pat it. Each piece down, that way you get a good bond to every little piece that's on there.
Yeah, so once we apply all the tiles, then obviously we wait for this to dry. At that point, then we go ahead and mix the grout, which is basically the coloring that goes in between all the tiles, and it kind of seals everything together, and you have a finished backsplash, right?
Correct.
See, I'm learning, Frank. I got it down. I know exactly what you're doing.
You're gonna
All
be
right,
able
cool.
to tile this by
Yeah, yeah.
yourself now.
Yeah. You start this whole roll, and then just leave me maybe a 1-inch section. I got this.
You got it, Martin. You got it.
I'll be the spacer guy. I can handle this part. Let's put it right here, right?
Right on the bottom.
Oh my God, that was so much work. Woo! Wow.
A good thing to keep next to you is a piece of the tile, so you can guide it by looking at your tile and seeing what cuts go where.
Right, because right now you removed all the, the pieces that were overlapping, over the outlet. So at this point we need to cut these down and then put them back in place.
Right.
But you want to keep the pattern consistent so we can use this as a reference and see, okay, well this one has the more glossy finish here, which means now the more rustic one goes right next to it. And that way, again, we keep the pattern consistent even though we have to make cuts and remove some of the tiles.
Correct.
So that's a good point. Thanks, Frank.
Perfect. Martin, last piece. You want the honors here?
Sure, Frank. Thank you so much. I really
There you
appreciate
go.
that. It only took you 5 hours to complete this, right? We're just kidding. We're only teasing Mr. Get It Done. I gotta say, it's almost like building a puzzle.
Hey,
I do find it very therapeutic.
fits like a glove, right?
Absolutely. So now you're saying use the float, right, to push it in.
Push it in, yeah.
See, I'm paying attention.
There you go, Martin.
It looks awesome, Frank. So now we have to wait for how long, approximately, for it to dry before we start grouting?
2 hours.
Okay, perfect. And just like that, television magic, a couple of hours have passed. So we are now at the grouting stage, right?
Correct.
I can see the finish line already. So this is the grout right here. And if you notice, the color is called haystack. So what I wanted to do is pull out the darker gray tones here to really complement the backsplash. So when you pull it out, it's basically powder. It almost looks like chocolate powder.
Like protein shake.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. And then, so this is mixed with water.
Yeah, you make it to where you're thick enough so it sticks on the wall when you're spreading it. It stays up there and it doesn't just pour down like soup.
Do I have to wait a little bit for just to wipe it off, or?
You can It's usually about 2 minutes or so. You can wait, let it get a little, you'll see sometimes it dries faster than other on different tiles depending on the pores of the tile.
Right. So wait for the tile to have a little bit of a haze.
A little bit of haze on it.
And then wipe it off.
Start wiping.
And you also want to be careful not to have the sponge too wet because you don't want to wipe off all the...
Right. The correct way of wiping it is you squeeze the sponge out, you use one side, you go down,
Okay.
flip it, do the other side.
Okay. So
rinse,
we'll do that
rinse
once
it
you...
out and then
Okay.
do that whole process all over again.
So now you can really see the difference with the grout. Before, when you first apply it, it really looks like it's super heavy and thick, but as soon as you start wiping it down, you can pretty much see that it's a really thin layer. So it just complements, again, all the tones in the existing stone. There we go, Frank. We are done. Thank you so much for doing this for us.
Looks good, Martin.
It's almost like working a diamond, right? It's a bit rough at the beginning and then all the beauty just shines through at the end. I love it. So you know what comes next, right? My part.
Yes.
The whole design, the whole staging, it is a rental, so we want to make sure that everything looks really nice and attractive for that potential tenant when they walk in the door. So you're going to help me with that too, right?
You got it.
Okay, let's go. All the appliances were white before, so now tenants want something more modern, stainless steel. That's what we're giving them. Another design detail that I added in this kitchen are the 2 pendant lamps right above the countertop. They weren't here before, but now it really adds a more high-end style, and hopefully it'll appeal to the tenants. Okay, Frank, the final touch. Thank you so much for all your help today. You went above and beyond, huh?
You're very welcome, Martin.
I can actually cook in this kitchen, can you?
Oh, definitely.
I love all the changes, so let's see what the real estate expert has to say when he comes in to check out the place.
Hope it's all good.
Can't wait. Coming up on SoFlo Home Project, an eyesore of a kitchen becomes a modern feature in this income property. It's our big reveal. Welcome back. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. Well, on today's SoFlo Home Project, we did the opposite. We actually ran into a kitchen because it needed major help. Joining me again is Robert Mayuntaregger, a real estate expert from EWM Realty International. You saw the kitchen before, right?
I did.
And I know you've helped many people buy, sell, and even lease homes. What are your thoughts on the changes?
I love the kitchen. From what it was before to what it is now is amazing. I love that you chose the white cabinetry. It really brightens up this small space. It's a galley style kitchen. Right. So using white cabinetry really opens up the space. I love the backsplash and the countertop, and you even added the pendant lighting, which is amazing.
Yeah, so the before really had a standard, sort of builder's generic kitchen. The cabinets had really no detail whatsoever. There even was a higher counter level. And then obviously the cabinets as well were really low. So one of the biggest changes that we did, even though we kept the same layout, Robert, is that we went ahead and extended the cabinetry all the way up.
Yeah, I also like the added touch of the crown molding. It really finishes the space.
It gives us a lot more storage inside as well for potential tenants. And then the fact that we no longer have sort of that
two-level countertop.
Two-level countertop, exactly. I love that it does open up the space, like you said before, and by keeping the cabinets white, it's a more neutral selection that will appeal hopefully to more,
Absolutely.
to more tenants. And then you also spoke about stainless steel appliances being
Correct.
important. What are your thoughts on these?
No, they're great. It really finishes the look, especially with the hardware that you've chosen. It really kind of makes the whole look cohesive.
Yeah, and even before in the kitchen, there wasn't sort of a microwave built into the oven above it. So now it really sort of maximizes the counter space as well on top of the counters, which is great too. And again, stainless steel appliances, beautiful new modern hardware, new faucet, new dishwasher, all those little sort of luxe details that hopefully will, command a higher rent in this area.
It definitely will. With the upgrades that Martin and his team has done here with the kitchen, the countertops, the backsplash, the new cabinetry, it's really going to make a difference and appeal to a broader audience of tenants.
So what are your thoughts on staging a property?
I think staging is great. It really allows the potential tenant or buyer walk into the space and visualize their life in here.
Yeah, and it's a small little detail that doesn't cost too much money, but I think it could really sort of attract.
Absolutely, like the decorative touches you've added to the kitchen, the place settings, etc. It really adds that nice decorative touch that gives that feel of home.
Absolutely. So at this point, let's talk about sort of the numbers, because this is an income property, and I think at the end of the day, that's really what it's all about, the bottom line. But at this time, the investor, the mortgage payment is around $800.
It's around $800, and with association fees, it equates to about $1,000 a month.
Okay.
And the average rent right now for a unit that's upgraded is about $1,800 a month. Pre all the upgrades that you've just done, it probably would have rented for about $1,600 a month. So the investor is gaining about $800 a month, which equates to about $9,600 a year.
So that's pretty good. You know, that's obviously the whole point of having an income property, trying
Absolutely.
to get the most money that you can on a monthly basis to cover all your costs. Thank you again, Robert, for all the good advice. And if you're in the market for an income property, now you know what areas to concentrate on and what upgrades to do to really maximize the return on your investment. Or if you're simply looking to upgrade your kitchen, hey, we share with you some great tips as well. I'll see you next weekend. Until next time. If you have a design disaster, we can help. Contact us at SoFloHomeProject.com or find us on Facebook and like our page at SoFlo Home Project. Next week on SoFlo Home Project, we cruise on up to a waterfront property and create a Zen experience outdoors.